At number 6, I'm going to take Jalen Carter. I feel like this is the spot where if I'm Detroit, pairing him with Aiden Hutchinson at the front of that defense, they went out and they got some secondary support in Sutton and Mosley in the offseason. GJ is out there at safety now, and he's really excited about, the team they're putting together. But I think this is a place where Detroit should go out and make that risk. If it blows up in their faces, they've learned the hard way. But, as far as game goes, everything that the, analysts have kind of picked with Jalen Carter's game, just, he's explosive, he's powerful, he can play the 3 tech, you can line up inside the tackles, just pure performance overall during college and everything else. I mean, the intangibles, maybe we worry about a little bit there, but, maybe he just needs a chance to kind of get everything that happened this offseason behind him and just kind of move forward and kind of, line himself up for a good future. And, right now, Detroit, honestly, is a hot place to be for like the first time in a long time. So I'm scared to death, of seeing him in our division, especially with what Detroit's been able to do lately. I really hope that in general he falls to number 9. I'd love to take that risk too and kind of give it a go. But I think he falls here at number 6.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like a Ndamukong Suh kind of situation, right? I feel like where he just fits kind of that mold, if you will. Kind of lunch pail and a little bit, crazy there ever so often. So, but hey, we'll see. Let's give, I guess, Jalen Carter the benefit of the doubt on some of these things. I don't think he's had any type of legal troubles beforehand, so. Maybe this is just a nice situation for him to get in. Just like, okay, I'm just gonna play just play some football and get to it there. So
no, I feel like I'm picking for the Lions now, and I'm like, I'm actually finding some good fits for him. It's like, damn, this is disheartening for me as a Bears fan because I'm like, man, I'm just helping these guys out at this point. But I think at this stage, they're looking also for some offensive support. They could go wide receiver, but a lot of the great, players I think so far have kind of moved off the board. And I think they could get their first cracks at any tight end that they want. And that's, a position that they are looking for. After trading last year, they got rid of Hawkinson. They traded him in division to the Vikings. And I think Hawkinson had a pretty, decent second half with Kirk Cousins and folks. So, with that, they have their kind of choice to have a young, controllable tight end, and it just kind of comes down to what they actually need. I mean, are they looking for a guy who's more of a receiver type? Go kind of Dalton Kincaid has the speed. They say he's like a natural receiver at that. He may be kind of a hybrid of a wide receiver tight end. So if they're looking for, just support and pass catching, that may be your 1A, and your 1B is Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. I mean, he seems to be more traditional, but it's stronger. I'm sure he's obviously had a lot of, catches, receiving yards in his junior year at Notre Dame and stuff. So it's kind of like, who are the Detroit Lions? What are they actually going to need? To me, I feel like if you had more of a run threat quarterback, you might go the Michael Mayer route, just somebody who's like a bit better of a blocker, somebody's a little bit more physical, kind of, establishing that presence at the front of the line. But with Goff and, who knows what their replacement might be a quarterback down the line, but I feel like they just need a little bit more receiving support at this point. So I'd probably lean towards Dalton Kincaid at that pick. So I guess I'll just make it official. I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid. Hopefully he's a complete bust for the Lions. He never accomplishes anything in the NFL. And, we all laugh about this down the line, but I'll go there.
Yeah, you hear that, Dalton Kincaid? You got a hater over here. So let's get it on. But it makes sense. Getting rid of Hawkinson now, and it was kind of a surprise, right? They get rid of Hawkinson, and then all of a sudden they're good, right? Not because he's bad, just the offense started to click, and the defense started to click more. So it makes sense. I think they can either take a tight end here. I see Lucas Van Ness there too. He can certainly make some sense. They did address, I think, the secondary pretty well this offseason, so probably won't look at that here. But I think probably other defensive line here, maybe the Lucas Van Ness if he's still available, or Kincaid or Meyer. Yeah, I think it either makes sense there. So, but I think Kincaid definitely makes the most sense. I think you nailed it there. Just a good pass pass catcher. So
if they grabbed Van Ness though with Hutchinson and then Jalen Carter in that first spot, like I don't know, man. That might actually be too tempting to pass up. Like I'm not going to overlook that, for any reason, but I do think like that could be pretty scary for the future.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then I mean, Lucas Van Ness, he had a heck of a comp. I think I granted a 4.5 at like 270, close to 280. I think it's like 275, 6.5 or something like that. And all the broad jump stuff, like, yeah, really good athlete overall. So yeah, having him and Hutchinson and Carter, like, yeah, that's pretty deadly. And their offensive side of the ball, like there's still some pretty decent tight ends I think you can get, second, third round as well. So like this is a pretty good tight end draft. So I definitely think that, if Van Ness is right there, I would love to take him if I were the Lions GM. I would hate it if I am a Bears fan. So that's definitely where it's like I feel pretty good about that Paris Johnson pick then versus JSN. So